Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. Squeeze.
Big.
EJ.
And today we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about today?
The value of the MVP. Should it hold as much weight as we have had it held in for so long, based off the fact that a lot of players who have won it have not even carried their teams past maybe sometimes the first round, second round, or even to the finals. It's not a preface of whether or not you should win a championship or not, but I do believe it's a preface of how far you should be getting into the playoffs. So I think the value is held too high. I think that's just my opinion of it.
Yeah, my personal opinion, if I win the MVP,
right,
and I don't make it to the finals,
right,
it don't mean jack to me. You know what I'm saying? MVP of the season don't mean jack. If I got to at least make it to the finals, or even having the best record, it doesn't mean jack if you don't get your team to the finals. I know it's supposed to be about what happens during the regular season, but
that should carry over.
Right.
Somewhere in some aspect that should carry over.
As MVP, when the playoffs come, you're supposed to rise to the next level and take your team and teammates to the next level. And if you're not doing that in the playoffs, what does it?
You gotta put that context though, because the players just because you're the best player or whatever, don't mean your team's supposed to win. Mike didn't win every year. Kobe didn't win every year. LeBron didn't win every year. And they were the best players in the league at the time.
But they never got the MVP and didn't win it.
No, I'm talking about from that point there. Just because you're the best player, that don't mean your team's supposed to go to the finals.
But what I'm talking about is the best player as far as you dominated the league. That's what they're saying. You have the MVP. You was the best. Nobody was better than you. Nobody could stop you. You dominated the league. Now, if your team rides with you to where, when I mean ride with you to where, is not only were you the best player, but your team is in the top 1, 2, 3 spot of the league, you're supposed to at least get to the finals, conference finals, and that's it. Anything less than that MVP means diddly squad.
Right, like the 2 years Giannis won it. The first year he was a beast. You know what I mean?
The second year he was a beast.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I expected him to even take it to another level in the playoffs, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People, they created a scheme to shut him down.
Which,
but to me, as MVP, you should be able to rise above that.
You should be able to, or figure out a way around the scheme. I mean, just not to even pick on Giannis. You had players back in the day who got the MVP, didn't make it. David Robinson, he had to go against King. King was like, no, that MVP belongs to me. That's mine.
Right.
So there's a lot of players. Dirk Nowitzki, when he got his, he didn't even get past the first round.
Steve Nash,
same thing. Well, I think Steve Nash made it to the conference finals.
But and a lot of times too, to put what you said about in perspective with Jordan, Kobe, and a lot of times those players really deserve the MVPs for that year. But for some reason with the media, it's like they don't want to keep giving it to you. A lot of times Jordan should have won MVP.
But he already got like a bunch.
But they didn't want it seemed like they didn't want to keep giving it to him. They took it personal.
Well, that and the fact that when you look at it, the aspect if Michael is just like, not to say Michael,
even LeBron,
but even just say Michael, LeBron, people like that, if they're doing the same thing which they're doing every year, which is dominate the league, but then you see somebody else who's coming up whose numbers done improve, his team record done improve, like he done improved his game, and because he done improved his game, his team isn't improved. I will look more to him,
right? But that's what I'm saying.
That's still constantly doing it every year.
That's what I'm saying though. But still, a lot of times those players still deserve it,
right?
But they don't get it. Because of what you just said.
Naturally, Brian and Mike technically, if we look at it from a ball standpoint, probably should have got every year they played.
Yeah.
Right. That's just
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you're going to look at it from a value stature, if I see somebody whose stats have improved and then their team has improved because they have improved, then I would look at you and say, all right, you are possibly the most valuable person here. But then you're supposed to take that same good team, that improvement of that team, that improvement of your game, that should show in the playoffs. You should not be somebody who gets knocked out and don't even get a chance to sniff a conference finals or finals.
But a lot of times with these players, though, getting MVP is a natural part of progression. Like a lot of these dudes, a lot of the greats, they get the MVP, then they get the ring. Like they don't always get the same year. Mike got an MVP, and he didn't win that year in '88 when he got it. It's a natural. When Bron got it, Bron ain't winning the first time he got it.
But where did Bron go when he got it?
He lost.
But where did he go? How far he get?
He didn't. That's when he lost to Orlando that year. He didn't have one early. He lost in the conference finals.
Conference finals. I said you gotta get to the conference finals or the finals.
You said finals.
I said conference finals or the finals. You get anything less
though.
I agree. I would prefer you. I would say personally you should get to the finals. Personally, period, you should get it. But I would grant you the lenience of getting to the conference finals. But you still should get to the. Me personally, I feel like you should get to the finals.
Right, but
I think you should get to the finals.
A lot of times, to be a great, you gotta go through that step. Like you just don't go to the final. You don't win MVP and just go to the final. Like it's a level. You gotta make your first All-Star team. You gotta make it's a level, natural progression. You get better every year.
If you get more than one MVP and not one of them,
all right, that wasn't the question though.
But anybody we talking about right now, as far as people who only got it once, most of them got to the finals, and the people who
not
got
the same year though. A lot of them didn't go to the finals the same year they won it.
Only person who can go to the finals, but they wanted to. I can think of off the top of my head, they got knocked. There's 2 players that did, and that was Dirk.
Rose ain't go there when he won.
He got to the conference finals. I'm just talking about the people that got knocked out before that. That's what I'm talking about. There's so many players that got knocked out before that, because they only got it once.
Right.
Which I'm gonna say is like Dirk, David Robinson, Rose, LeBron. That's it. As far as I can go with top of my head.
Garnett made it to the conference finals.
Who?
Garnett.
Yeah, he made it to the conference finals. He lost. So after that, that's it. Everybody else who got it multiple times, there's players who got it multiple times and still didn't sniff the finals.
All right. So question: do you think they shouldn't give it to until after the playoffs, or should they have 2?
True be so, I say you should. See, I would go with 2. I would go 1 for the regular season and 1 for the playoffs. Because for some odd reason, like it seems like certain players who dominate the regular season just with a certain trend, like they ain't dominating in the playoffs.
So the playoffs will only really come down to 4 teams, as far as the MVP.
That's
2 on the East and 2 on the West.
Well, it will come down.
As far as the conference finals.
Right. That means you ran through everybody else to get there.
Okay, I'm just saying it would only come down to really 4 teams.
Truth be told, if I could, I would say you rather should wait till the team gets to the finals.
So it should just
give out one MVP. Yeah, to give out one MVP. But they want to break it up and say regular season is one thing. I say, well, if that's the case, then the regular season MVP don't mean that much.
What if your team overmatched though? You brought them there. Like if I'm dropping 35 a game, 35 and 6. But I'm making it as an AFC because my team trash. If you can't disqualify me from MVP, I'm not supposed to be here.
If your team
and I go against the 1 seed
is over, that's what I'm still waiting. That's what I'm about to say. If your team is overmatched, you shouldn't be in the top 4 teams. If you got an MVP and you're not in the top 4 teams, I will grant you that little bit of leniency to say, all right, yeah, your team, you just was balling, but your team is trash. But if you in the top 4, that's not an excuse.
I think it should only be the top 4 anyway.
Well, you got to qualify though.
I know, but with the being under that team, the only person that will win that and qualify for that would be Westbrook. And technically Westbrook was doing the triple double thing. Right. That's the reason why he got it.
It all depends on the landscape of the league because anybody that was in the West when Golden State had a super team wasn't going to win it. Like it was no.
Who won the MVP when Golden State had a super team?
No, I'm just saying though. That's what I'm saying. Whoever won the MVP weren't going. James Harden won.
You saying they weren't going to beat?
They wasn't going to beat Golden State. Right. Like you know what I'm saying. So
James, wait a minute, no, because you can't say that because James had a chance. He choked.
No.
He already got the MVP. He had a chance. He had a chance. He choked. So he did have that chance. It wasn't like he was overmatched. He had a chance. He choked.
Yeah, the rest of the
right. That's what I'm saying. So
the team bummed it up.
Right. They did. Right. That's what I'm saying. They just choked. They had a chance. It wasn't like they was overmatched. They choked. So that's a stain. That's right. That's a stain technically to me.
Yeah.
So. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Your team, if you are in the top tier of teams and you have an MVP, that's no excuse to me. Now, like I said, if you're doing what Westbrook was doing with the triple doubles and you low level, I can see somebody like you ain't done nobody done.
So that's something ain't been done right.
Yeah, you deserve it. But if your team is in the top record, like that's no excuse. I don't care what you're doing. I think it's like it holds no weight to me. Dominating the regular season don't mean nothing if you don't win it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like MVP. I'm expecting you to make it to the finals. Not even the conference finals, honestly. I'm expecting you to
So what is the natural progression of a player? Because a player not going to just be great and then win a championship and an MVP and all this, like in the first 4 years. Like it takes time.
Natural progression? Improvement
each year.
But hold on. Improvement as for you as well as for your team. Not just you.
As an individual.
Right. You as an individual have to improve, and that improvement that you made has to improve your team.
Now, if I take a big leap, because I worked on the summer, I got my game together.
I'm going to say this again.
Shouldn't you just get the most improved player?
That's right, instead of an MVP.
Where was that, though?
It don't matter, right, but that would qualify for more.
All right, but Giannis got that, though. Giannis did the progression.
But what I'm trying to say is your improvement has to improve your team.
He did. Made him top 2 seed in the East.
Then once you do that, you should be able to carry that all the way over. What's the difference? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If I'm dominating the regular season, I get to the playoffs, why is my game diminished? It should increase.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't diminish. That's all I'm saying. Like, if I'm dominating the regular season and I know the playoffs is coming, I know, all right, this is going to be harder. Teams are going to play me this.
Everybody.
Right, everybody coming for your neck now. Your play should increase, not diminish. So if your progression is you've increased, then that progression should stay that way. Not I got here, I got and not fall and not diminish. That's not improving to me then. That's not progression.
But Eastern Conference Finals is kind of like didn't they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals?
No.
Who? No.
They always lost in it.
No. Who Kawhi beat?
No, they did.
They did. They played Milwaukee and they played. No, I'm talking about the year Kawhi and Toronto won. They played Milwaukee in Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, Toronto won.
So that counts then. The MVP counts. By your logic, you said they got to make it to the conference.
I said the finals.
He's saying the finals.
But you said conference, so that counts.
I'll give you that first year, but the second year he didn't get nowhere, so it still diminishes to me.
No, I'm saying that first one count.
But the second one doesn't matter. He didn't get nowhere. He got it again and didn't make it nowhere. That's my point.
And that makes the first one look bad too.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because you still you got less than what you did the year before.
Right. So was you really was you really deserving of that award?
You start. What if you sometimes you just start early, man. He got it earlier than a lot of people. He started early. Like he started this wave early before you hit that peak in those MVPs.
Hmm?
He started early.
He started early.
Getting 2 MVPs. He got it early. Most improved. He got a lot of awards very early. He's only like 25. He got a lot of this very early. The natural progression for you gotta get better.
Well, to get MVP. Bron got it early.
Yeah, but Bron is different. Like that's a different thing. That's different.
Mike got it.
Bron went to the finals early.
Did you think Bron deserved it last year over him?
Over who?
Over Giannis?
Yes, I would.
You thought Bron deserved it?
Yes, I would. He averaged what? What was averaging a double in assists that year?
Okay.
On top of the points, yes.
But the first year you felt Giannis deserved it.
Well, because of the improvement you saw with it.
Was he gonna give it to him or James?
Right, and with the improvement you saw with Giannis, and they said the only reason why they leaned to Giannis because his team was the best team in the league.
Because they had the best record.
Right, they had the best record in the league. That's the only reason why they leaned to Giannis.
Over
James Harden.
Over James Harden.
Right,
because he already got one too. He already got a couple, man. So
no, he got one or two.
He only got one.
He already got one.
But they were saying that his numbers would qualify him to do it again.
Right, but
when you look at the fact who team got better, Giannis' teams got better because of Giannis' improvement play.
Well, they felt James should have got 2 from that year they gave it to Steph?
The Durant.
To Durant?
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all really only talking about a couple players because most of these players that got MVPs went to the conference finals.
But that was mostly back in the day, not now.
Duncan, same thing.
I said it's mostly back in the day.
Duncan ain't really back in it. I mean, now it's not so much.
I consider him more than that.
So that's when he
went to the conference. It's not too many players you're really talking about. Houston, James Harden went to the conference.
Well, I'm talking about finals. I'm saying finals.
Right, he's saying finals.
I'm saying finals.
No, you said finals. He's saying conference. A lot of Steph conference. Like a lot of these just make it to the conference.
But if you make it to
Giannis made it once to the conference. He ain't make it one other time, but a lot of times these just make it.
I think you should make it to the finals, personally.
You can go that far. I said I would just give you the benefit of the doubt and say conference finals. I prefer the finals.
Yeah.
But I would give you the benefit of the doubt and give you a conference finals. But some dudes don't even get that. And I just see a natural trend of everybody saying, well, you know, they holding the MVP like it's some big trophy. Like, dude, what did you win with that?
Right.
Like, what did you win with that? Like, if I had a choice to make it, what I want?
MVP or a ring.
Right, an MVP or a ring, or heck, a Finals MVP or a regular MVP. I'm going with the Finals MVP. Period. Because at least I had a shot.
Right, plus a ring comes along with that.
Not really, because who won it and got LeBron won it and they lost.
When was that?
Finals MVP against Golden State.
Yeah. Well, he was a one-man show. You know what I mean?
Yo, literally.
Like you said, that's a different level.
I'm literally looking at it right now. Probably the last 15 years. There's really only 2 examples of that for somebody when you make the conference. Like
Nash.
Steph did it. KD, Bron, Rose, Kobe, even Nash. He made the conference.
They all made conference, but not finals.
Yeah, I'm saying the conference. Right. The conference.
They didn't make
conference.
So then you just put it to the finals.
So if you do the finals, you just go to finals, then a lot of them ain't make the finals.
Right, they ain't make the finals.
They got close.
But they ain't
Which
make
means
it.
they was good enough to get close. But they wasn't good enough to go.
Yeah, they ain't make the finals. Yeah.
So does it matter who you playing against? Like, did you respect?
No.
When the Lakers.
Shouldn't matter.
No, I'm saying when the Shaq and Kobe connection was in, the Lakers was building that dynasty. Did y'all really expect certain teams to even beat them?
Who made the final? But when they
y'all didn't expect Philly to beat them, right?
Like the Sixers.
Yeah, I'm just saying even like in certain teams where you look at them like, all right, you made here, but you're not supposed to.
There's a lot that plays into that because.
But here's the thing. Back then, if you had an MVP, you supposed to be in the finals. Right. It's only until now we got into this generation the way it looks like okay for you just to make it to the conference finals.
Right.
If you got an MVP back in them days, you supposed to be in the finals. So if AI had fell short, I would have been
highly to the finals though.
Right, I'm saying if he had fell short, I would have been highly upset, highly like, yo, what that MVP mean nothing, dude? You didn't take us to the finals.
Right. I felt the same way.
Right, because most of the time, people who was winning them MVPs back when that Shaq and Kobe years were either Kobe. I mean, with Shaq.
Right. So what about the optics of players where sometimes veteran players know it's a marathon. So they don't really go that crazy in the regular season, which is why somebody else might be able to get it. They weren't the best player. The best player just knew it was a marathon. Like you might Kawhi doing the runners, he probably would have got it if he turned up the whole year. So somebody else got it that year, but he probably was the best player that year.
I'm going by the player that won it.
Right, I gotta go by the player.
I'm just saying,
I'm just going by the player that won it.
Some players win it because the other players know it's a marathon.
But they still had to show up.
Right,
they still had to earn it.
Right, but as a player,
Yeah.
I'm not taking that. I got this because you decided to take a day off.
Right.
That not me.
But you don't attach MVP to the best, literally the best player in the league. I don't attach it to that. Not with these veteran players that know it's that turn up the playoffs.
Nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays. Yeah.
Nowadays you can't do it but like
right. Back then.
I'm attaching MVP your play to your team's record. You know what I mean? I'll say top 4. I say top 3. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. If you in that average,
rising to the occasion
and
in the playoffs.
Like Bron took a year, like Bron was coasting through the whole year, but we know Bron's technically probably the best player year every year.
Right.
Giannis got it. His team got to his team like first top 2, 1, 2, 3.
Right, best record.
You got to be in the finals against LeBron then. That's just the way you got to be.
To prove you're better than him.
Right. You prove that you even deserve to be in the conversation to even have that MVP in the first place.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be there. You gotta be there. If you're not the best player, but you got the MVP, then you should be at the best player's neck.
Right.
So, that's my only argument with that.
So you think it should just be like an end of the season type
I think it should
like
just be
like playoffs?
Yeah. I think it should
the whole season.
The whole season. You can't do this whole one season. This final.
Cut it in half.
Yeah, that should be one whole thing because, as far as I'm concerned, that all matters. Everything matters. What you do in the regular season matters, and what you continue to do in the playoffs. Because your main goal at the end of the day is to win this chip.
Right, because people talk about Giannis being MVP, but right now we know him for not showing up in the playoffs.
Right.
That's the main thing we know him for is not showing up.
Same thing with James.
Right.
Same thing with Westbrook.
Right. They don't show up in the playoffs.
They don't show up in the playoffs.
You know? So
you don't need, so do you need an MVP as a great all-time great? Do you need an MVP?
Yes. I would prefer if you want.
Well, they got a Finals MVP though.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, Finals MVP holds more weight.
Better.
Right, that holds more weight to me than the MVP.
But if somebody got both, you're gonna put them ahead though, right?
Of course.
Somebody got both.
Of course.
But what if one player has more Finals MVPs? The
I
other player got more, but the other player got Finals MVPs, but he don't got as much as the other player. But he has an MVP though.
I hold more Finals. I'll hold Finals MVP at a higher level than I ever hold with a regular.
So if I got 2 Finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, and this other dude got 4 Finals MVPs and no MVPs.
He has 4.
But does he have rings? The other dude don't have rings.
Well, now you gotta get rings to probably get the Finals MVP.
Right, I'm saying
that's
the
why I'm holding the
MVP
person who
means
got
more
the
because you got rings.
That's why I'm holding the person
because you got rings to go
right,
along
who
with
has the more Finals MVP.
Right, you got rings to go along with
Right, you wasn't considered the best player, but you outplayed supposedly the best player of the year.
Whoever's on the other team's best player.
Right,
the whole team.
Right, you outplayed them, got to the finals, got to that chip, and was the best player in that.
You step your game up.
Right, I gotta hold that high.
I just get funny a little bit with some of these awards because the year Iggy got it, he really shouldn't have got it.
What, the Finals
Steph
MVP?
played better.
Yeah, we agree.
But they gave it to Iggy, so it was like, do we really knock that on Steph? When Steph should have got it, but they gave it to Iggy. When you look back on Steph's career, you probably take that as a knock that he has none. You know what I'm saying? And he has like 3 championships. You know, you probably should have got that one.
Well, see,
so I'm saying, what's a voting award?
No, but here's the not right. But exactly. But here's the not. He had multiple
MVP Finals MVP.
Yeah, like he has. Like 3 rings,
he had opportunities.
But he had multiple opportunities to get.
And he didn't step up.
Well, KD was just KD was.
Well, see, there you
that
go.
was KD team at that point.
But being a great player, he could still outshine.
And he still had 2 years before KD. 2, not just 1. He had 2 years.
Yeah, he lost to 1.
Yeah. Right. So you still had a shot.
Injured,
right, you still had a shot to do that. So I can't,
If Iggy can win over him, Steph could have won one over KD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
If Iggy could win one over Steph could have won one over KD.
It's harder to win over somebody that's averaging 32 and 6.
I'm just saying, Steph could have still stepped up his game and done more.
Wait. Did you say it's harder to do that? Iggy did it. He wasn't averaging nowhere near what Steph was doing.
Right.
No, like Steph wasn't averaging 30. Like, the rain numbers were obscene.
I know that, but I'm just saying, Steph could have took control more if he wanted to, but he chose to defer. Is all I'm saying.
It was the narrative. It was the LeBron versus KD narrative. Steph had no chance to win MVP. It was literally the narrative of LeBron versus KD. He had no chance. That was going to be.
He could have changed it. He could have changed it.
He had a chance.
He had the ability to change it if he wanted to.
KD.
I know, but if he just picked one game, went off for 50, he would have changed the whole narrative of that.
Right. It was LeBron versus KD. It was
we know what the story was.
Right, we know the story.
If he had the ability to change it. If he had caught fire one game and dropped 50 on them, and just he would have changed the whole
He
narrative.
caught fire one of those games.
I said drop 50. I'm saying he would have changed the narrative.
Well, that's where we stand on the MVP conversation. Do y'all think MVP is too high up in regard? You think that it should just be
For
an
the
end of
regular
season
season.
Yeah,
award?
or one whole MVP,
Just
regular season, straight to
whole,
the playoffs.
or do you think it's like the natural progression of a player where they get the MVP, they don't necessarily have to win it that year, but they do have to at least improve the next year and at least get to the finals the following year. So let us know where y'all stand on that. It's another episode. Let's talk about it. Peace.